Welcome back to Dropped In. I am beyond grateful to be here with you today and to share a microdose hit of magic and medicine with you. And today I'm taking you behind the scenes around conversations I'm having right now in real time with founders, executive leaders on the missing piece within leadership and more specifically within the boardrooms. And so today we are going to talk about something that quietly separates good leaders from unforgettable ones. Today, we are dropping into co regulation. So, if you are a mentor, a founder, an executive, someone who is leading teams, holding big decisions, carrying that pressure behind closed doors, I want you to really lean in and listen because this conversation matters more than you probably even realize. Because here is the thing: leadership isn't just what you say, it's what your nervous system communicates before you even open your mouth. And the leaders who understand that shift the entire atmosphere of a room without even trying. So you've probably seen this before, maybe not, but I want you to imagine you're at an event, a conference, and the speaker walks onto the stage. More than likely, the room is loud, it's buzzing, people are probably quite distracted, and then something potent happens. The speaker doesn't rush into talking. They pause, they take a breath, and then they look around. And suddenly that room, it gets quiet. More than likely, no one told the audience to settle down, to sit down, to be quiet, but everyone leaned in anyway. Now, some might say that is a performance technique, but I'm here to say that is a regulation. And more specifically, that is co regulation in action. Because here is the thing, my friend: your nervous system speaking to other nervous systems begins before a single word lands. So let's drop into what co regulation is specifically. It's the process where one regulated nervous system helps another system feel safe, steady, grounded. Humans are wired for this. In fact, we came out of the womb this way. From infancy, our systems learned how to settle through connection. And that wiring doesn't disappear when someone becomes an adult or gets a title or even walks into a corporate office. Your team doesn't stop being human because they are high performers. And your executives don't stop needing safety because they are paid well. And your staff doesn't suddenly regulate themselves perfectly because they're competent. People are constantly scanning their environment for cues. We do this by hearing the tone of voice, the pace of speech, the facial expression, and the energy in the room. And leaders are the loudest signal, whether they realize it or not. And here's what most leadership conversations miss: culture isn't created by policies, it's created by nervous systems interacting all day long. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if your team feels tension, uncertainty, unpredictability, or even emotional volatility coming from leadership, their brain shifts into protection mode. And I'm sure you know what that looks like, but it looks like individuals having their back up, maybe holding back their ideas, avoiding risk, people pleasing, overworking to avoid criticism. Perhaps they become quiet in meetings. They might be slow in decision making. Perhaps they have low creativity or productivity. And it's not because they are unmotivated, it's because their system is trying desperately to stay safe. So now let's take a big, deep inhale and exhale. Now imagine the opposite. A leader walks in, regulated, grounded voice, clear pacing, steady presence, even when conversations are hard. The team's nervous system reads that as safety, and safety builds instant rapport. It unlocks that sense of innovation and collaboration, that sense of momentum. And some might say, oh, yeah, this is super soft and woo. But I'm here to share with you this is not soft leadership. This is performance optimization at the nervous system level. And here's the part that really sets companies and teams apart. So it's fair to say most industries are competing on that sense of strategy, speed, innovation, or even, talent acquisition. Very few compete on regulation. And in my opinion, that's why it becomes a hidden edge. When your leadership team understands co regulation, look out. Meetings become shorter because people think clearly. Conflict resolves faster because that sense of defensiveness drops. Creativity increases because brains aren't stuck in that sense of survival. Retention improves because people feel safe being human at work. And as a result, your culture becomes magnetic. And I know this for a fact. People want to stay where their nervous system doesn't feel under attack. And that is not just wellness, that's a competitive edge. And I think it's important for me to share this with you that co regulation, it isn't therapy language. It's really these small moments in time. It's the CEO who slows their speech when the room feels rushed. It's the leader who takes one breath before responding instead of reacting. It's the manager who makes eye contact and listens fully instead of multitasking during hard conversations. It's tone more than words. energy more than instruction, presence more than performance. Your team mirrors you always. So let's go back to the stage for a moment. If you watch speakers, the most powerful ones, the most captivating ones, aren't rushing. They take a beat, they breathe, they let their body arrive before their words do. And that pause does two things. First, it regulates them. Second, it regulates the room. And everyone unconsciously syncs to their pace. And now imagine bringing that into the boardroom. Imagine starting a meeting and instead of diving straight into numbers or problems, you pause. One breath. You ground yourself. You look at your team and then you speak. The energy shifts instantly because you've just signaled safety, clarity, and leadership without saying anything, inspirational or motivational. A lot of high performers, a lot of leaders, a lot of CEOs, executives, you name it, they resist this conversation because they think this: slowing down means losing momentum. Or they believe pressure is what really drives the results. But from personal experience working as a nurse and in this field of nervous system work, capacity work, that constant urgency creates chronic stress responses. And stressed brains certainly do not make great decisions. They make fast ones. And there's a difference. The strongest leaders aren't the loudest or the fastest. They're the ones who can stay steady when everything around them speeds up. And that steadiness becomes contagious. And so you are probably wondering, well, how do I start? What's my next step? You don't need a massive training program to begin. You can start here. Before you enter a meeting, notice your breath. I always say your breath is your greatest and most underutilized tool you have. If it's shallow, slow it down slightly. Feel your feet on the ground. Let your shoulders drop. Speak 10% slower than you normally would. Pause before responding to difficult questions. So much so that it's just enough for your nervous system to stay in the conversation instead of reacting. And watch what happens. It's quite astonishing. People soften, perhaps their shoulders relax, their jaw relax, maybe their heart opens. You'll notice that the rapport deepens, so the conversation deepens. And as a result, the solutions appear faster. And so, this is the shift I would love for you to consider. You're not just leading teams or strategy, you're leading nervous systems. Every room you walk into asks one question: is it safe to think clearly here? Is it safe to speak honestly here? Your body answers before your words do. And once you understand that, leadership changes. You stop trying to control the outcomes and you start shaping environments. And so, my friend, if you take nothing else from today, take this: co regulation is not extra, it's foundational. It's that invisible layer underneath trust, performance, productivity, and culture. And the leaders who master it quietly rise above everyone else because people feel different around them. Calmer, more grounded, more capable. And so the next time you walk into a room, onto a stage, or into a board meeting, or even a hard conversation, take a beat, take a breath. Allow yourself to arrive before you speak. Because leadership isn't just what you say, it's what your nervous system teaches everyone around you to feel. And that's where real influence begins. So, if this episode landed for you, I would love for you to share it with a leader who really needs to hear it. And remember this: your presence is shaping more than results, it's shaping people, it's shaping legacies. And so, until next time, I will see you on Dropped In.